to Chef Zone. My name is Joy, and on behalf of the Chef Zone team, we're excited to have you here this evening. We hope you enjoyed some of the delicious offerings we have at the Inspired Chef and hearing from Dean Okimoto about our local produce. Before we get started, I have some housekeeping announcements and updates. The restrooms are out the door and to the left. If you're not a member of Chef Zone yet, we hope you sign up today. Membership is free. We have more than 5,000 products that are great for our food service customers, family gatherings, potlucks, and more. Information on all of this can be found on our website at chefzone.com, and be sure to follow us on social media. Stay tuned as there are some exciting things we have cooking and coming soon this year. Okay, so for this next series of Onolicious Kitchen with Chef Alan Wong, Chef will demonstrate his unique approach to cooking and teaching through storytelling on his experiences, travel, and food. Chef Alan Wong is one of the founders of Hawaii Regional Cuisine, a James Beard Award winner for Best Chef Northwest, and his former restaurant, Alan Wong's Restaurant, has won numerous accolades, including the 10-time winner of Honolulu Magazine's Haliaina Restaurant of the Year. Tonight, he will prepare his take on chicken and sausage gumbo and a vegan cream pasta sauce using his version of cashew milk, topped with mushrooms and cheese. Helping Chef Alan today, or this evening, is Lily Yamamoto and Desiree Fleming. Both are culinary students at Kapiolani Community College. Also, Lee Ito, Chef Alan's right-hand person who has worked with Chef for more than 20 years. We hope you enjoy today's session. We'll send out a survey after the class and hope you'll provide us with the feedback so we can continue to improve. And please tag us at Chef Zone HI on your social media posts. And now here is Chef Alan Wong.
Aloha. Tonight's pretty casual, so if you have any questions, just stop me and ask a question, okay? How many have been here before? Oh, good one. See that, Russell? Okay, so let me jump into this, okay? The tea you got is mamaki tea. And I gotta say, the Hawaiians had it down a long time ago because it has no caffeine. And it's very healthy for you. You know, it addresses things like the high threes I call high cholesterol, high sugar, and high blood pressure. Okay? So very good, relaxing tea. It's a good tea to drink after dinner. But I thought I gave you this in the beginning so you can just sip on it whenever you want or the whole night. Okay? So that's the mamaki tea. You folks just came from the produce place, right? So something very simple in front of you. This is baby manoa lettuce. Now, if it was me, I would take the outer leaf and just eat it and enjoy it just plain with nothing on it. Okay? And then there's a little dip in front of you. Okay? It's anchovy and parmesan. It's almost like a dip. I promise you this is not a Caesar's dressing. In fact, it has 0 oil and 0 egg in there. Okay? So that's a continuation of the produce section. By itself, it's sweet, yeah? Manoa lettuce used to be really popular. And then it kind of went out. Nobody was growing it. And I'm really happy to see it come back now.
You say the outer leaf, but what about the inner leaf?
You can do whatever you like. Yeah. You can eat it all without the dip. How's it?
Tasty.
You trying with it?
I'm trying with it.
Yeah. Put the stem side inside. Stem.
At the end.
Yeah, I'm gonna on carrot stick.
From the parmesan? Anchovy.
Okay, while you're eating that, let me explain. If you've been here before, I pass out no recipes. And that's because, not because I don't want to show you the recipe, it's because the way I teach a recipe is a little bit different. Okay, so I don't know if you can see, but these are the 5 boxes. You have bitter here, sweet here, sodium, acid, and heat. Okay, so that's kind of like when I'm cooking, that's how I think. So sodium is not just salt, soy sauce, fish sauce. Anything salty that has sodium in it is sodium. When you're balancing the easiest, sweet and sour, there's a lot of sweet things, there's a lot of acid things. I said acid and not sour, yeah? Okay? So hopefully I explained that, okay, what I'm doing here. And it's not really a step-by-step cooking kind of a demonstration. There are some things that have already been done. I'll talk through it, I'll explain it. And if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. Okay? So that was the purpose. Instead of giving you a step-by-step demo and maybe you fall asleep, okay? It's to spark conversation. Okay? Any questions?
What does umami mean? Umami is actually what is that word?
Okay, good question. The question is, what is umami? Okay? It's like the 5th or 6th taste, depending on how many you count. Okay, you see it?
No, is it one of those?
Oh, no.
Oh.
Okay? Umami to me is, it contains glutamates. So a long time ago, this scientist from Japan isolated monosodium glutamate, became MSG, became Ajinomoto. Okay, some people got headaches from it, and so people gave it a bad rap. But what people don't know is there are food products and ingredients that contain natural glutamates in them. I'm using Parmesan cheese tonight. Okay, most of your fermented things like soy sauce, miso, they contain glutamates. Tomatoes, all of your cured things like prosciutto ham and ham, bacon, they contain glutamates. Okay, so now everybody's using the word umami to kind of like jazz up their conversation. Oh, I added this is umami, right?
Yeah, I didn't know.
Without really knowing what it is. So when I chase umami in a dish, I'm conscientious of what I'm using. That's why I might add Parmesan instead of salt, fish sauce instead of salt. Okay, I put miso in a pot of chili because miso is very high glutamate. Make sense?
Thank you. Yeah, I didn't know what it meant.
Okay? And so if you go on the internet today, it'll tell you everything. What are the foods high in glutamates? Okay, and if you look at that, you start cooking with that, all of a sudden your food tastes better. Okay?
Thank you.
No secret. Ask me anything you like. Okay? Yes?
Okay, so what's wrong with sea salt?
Nothing wrong with sea salt. What kind of sea salt are you talking about?
Himalaya sea salt, for instance. They have different sizes and different kind of sea salt, so I use that for salt. I don't know if that's good or bad, or if it's so show you fish.
There's nothing wrong with the Himalayan sea salt. In fact, the slabs, I know of chefs lining the entire room with Himalayan salt slabs, so it's not only dry aging, but it has salt in it, sucking moisture out of the beef. You can cook on it. Yeah? I mean, if you get high blood pressure, I wouldn't recommend it, but there's nothing wrong with it. Yeah? I just got back from Japan. They take water and they put salt from the area and they serve a sashimi from that area. And so for the first time I had sashimi with salt water. I'll tell you what, it's not like shoyu, but it's interesting. It's all about tasting what you're supposed to taste. And I had this with lobster sashimi, and it made the lobster sweeter. And they made sure they explained the salt was from that same place they caught the lobster. So you don't have to eat sashimi with shoyu all the time, you know. Salt works, especially with the fatty tuna. The chu toro and o toro. Try salt, really good salt. Not table salt. Himalayan salt, Hawaiian salt. Thank you for the questions. I heard Dino Kimoto gave away my story. The pink tomato. Okay, this dish that they're plating up for you is inspired by a couple of things that I saw inside the refrigerator. Okay, which is basically sometimes you go to the supermarket, you see unripe tomatoes. You know, I did one thing. I did a side-by-side tomato comparison of a local vine-ripened tomato and a mainland tomato from the supermarket, and was pink, was hard. 99% of the people said they picked the local vine-ripened one in a blind tasting. Okay, that was the first course. One lady said, I like the hard one. So I had to go find out what the reason was. And she said, simply, I grew up with this. This is what I know. In fact, the other one is too mushy for me. Yeah, so it's what you prefer. So I treated it like a green tomato. And I guess Dean said that's more expensive, right? So I didn't know that. That's not the Chinese in me now, okay? I didn't know the price, okay? The only different thing is normally you do flour, egg, and breadcrumbs or panko. So I omitted the egg, and I made a very light tempura batter. And the tempura batter had half flour, 1-to-1 with cornstarch. Okay? So you put the tomato in flour, you lightly put it, it's a loose tempura batter. Okay? Just slightly thicker than the egg. Then it goes to the panko, and then you fry it. Hopefully when you get it, it's still a little bit more crispy versus soggy. Okay? On the plate, you have a pickled red onions, pickled iceberg lettuce, okay? And a tomato horseradish mayonnaise sauce. And they're all separate if you want to put them together or not, okay? How are you guys doing this? But I'll give you. Okay. I go reach across you.
Did you say you put it in the flour cornstarch mix, then the egg?
The raw tomato slices,
Yeah.
we salt them a little bit, okay? And if you let it sit 5 minutes before you put them in the flour, you see beads of moisture coming out from the tomato. Then you put them in the flour. Then in the tempura batter, and then drip, and then in the panko or your breadcrumbs. And then it's good to put it back in the refrigerator 4 or 5 minutes, and then fry it. So when you get it, just touch it. Crispy?
Yeah.
That's the cornstarch in the batter. In fact, if you take the same idea and you do shrimp, that's how you get your shrimp tempura more crispy.
The 1-to-1 is what ingredients?
Flour and cornstarch. Okay? You want to do fish and chips, shrimp tempura, vegetable, increase the cornstarch. Okay? So now, the green tomatoes, the pink tomatoes, acid. Right? The pickled red onions, sweet and sour. The pickled iceberg lettuce, sweet and sour. Okay? And what goes well with sweet? Spice. So there's a little bit of spice in that tomato horseradish mayo. A little bit of Liam Parents, a little bit of Frank's hot sauce inside there. And the horseradish kind of spicy too, yeah? All brands of horseradish, different spice level too. Okay, so I hope you experience all those combinations. Crispy.
Very good.
So I wanted to know, what is a typical Alan Wong meal at home?
At home.
At home, yeah.
Good question. Oh, no. You know, especially during the pandemic, I cooked a lot at home. And the reason why I'm holding is because Alice started off as vegan and she's vegetarian now. So I got really comfortable using the vegetarian I mean, the ingredients that go into nutritional yeast, that go into making vegan meals and vegetarian meals. I'm not saying I'm a vegan, I'm a vegetarian. I'm not saying I cook like that. I'm just saying at home, if I make a pan of something or a pot of something, it's with her in mind. Oh, I gotta eat by myself. That's good. Any more questions?
So Alan, when do you put it in the refrigerator after you cook everything?
After you put the panko on or your breadcrumbs, what happens is all the moisture is absorbing the breadcrumbs. Yeah? Otherwise, if you put them in right away, you might see your oil, all the breadcrumbs run away.
Oh, okay.
Yeah?
For how long?
5 minutes.
Oh, chef, what is the spice in the cabbage in this one? In the lettuce? What is the? I just got the mouthful of the hot. What is it? What is it? Chili?
Good palate.
Chili?
Sliced jalapenos.
Jalapeno.
So I have sliced pickled jalapenos if you like that too.
I do.
You do?
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was just pickled this afternoon, so it's not a long time, yeah.
Thank you.
So we got a question here. What is the recipe for the pickle? Okay, so that's a great question because if you follow a ratio, besides these 5 things, I'm almost always doing some kind of a ratio. You notice the cornstarch and flour is 1 to 1. It makes it easier to remember, okay? This one is 4 to 2 to 1. Okay, actually it was 4 parts and 2 parts, but it's 2 to 1. So 2 vinegar to 1 sugar. Okay, but here's the thing, they're looking for the gallon, okay? If you look on the front of anything vinegar, there's a number of acidity there. So this particular one is 4.3 acidity. Okay, no, it's the lowest. Actually, sometimes 4.2 is the lowest. Versus if you take like white wine vinegar, sherry vinegar, tarragon vinegar, 7%. Okay, so now vinegar is not just vinegar. If I say 2 to 1, and you just grab the sherry vinegar at home, it's going to be twice as sour. Red vinegar, this one here in the back is 5. So still high. Rice vinegar. Okay, I like to use that because it's the mildest. Okay, now you can create your own recipe. You can go 5, 3, 2, 1, whatever. One was, I did one with red wine vinegar, 5%. 3 parts of that, 2 parts of sugar, and 1 part of water. It tames down that 5%. Okay, tames down the vinegar.
What's your favorite frying oil?
What's my favorite frying oil? At home? Peanut oil. You want to pick one that has a higher smoke point. You don't want that. You don't want to fry in something that's smoking, definitely, because that smoke is a sign of it's no good already. Oil becomes carcinogenic, not good for you. Even if you're sauteing in a pan, you know, if you want to get your oil real hot, it's smoking, it's no good. Okay, don't use it. You might not feel well. Okay, did you find the vinegar?
I didn't find the rice wine on the white. I don't know where the rice wine is. But you were talking about that percentage.
Okay, this is red wine vinegar. It's a 7%. I think we used it all. Any questions?
A lot of recipes when they have like tempura, they put baking soda. Does that really?
What does baking soda do to tempura?
To bake it.
Okay. You know, I noticed that the Chinese cooks used to put baking soda in there. They put it in their beef. So they would use maybe not a very expensive cut like tenderloin, but they can make their beef come out like tenderloin in the stir fry. They marinate them in baking soda. And there's another technique, velveting after that. The cornstarch and egg white, right? And it comes out real soft and kind of slippery. So it has to do with I'm betting that they put the baking soda in the shrimp part. There's something scientific happening, okay, where the molecules are trapping water. And trapping water means it's maintaining its moisture. But you know the Chinese restaurants, they soak their shrimp in salt water. So it's a brine. That's why you notice when it comes crunchy, yeah, that's a brine. How many of you tasted cashew milk before, homemade kind?
Almond milk.
Okay.
No, I just had almond milk at the coffee.
You know that anchovy dip?
Yeah.
It was just Parmesan cheese and anchovy paste.
Oh, I told you, I promised no oil
Yeah.
and no egg, right? So, anchovy. This one?
Oh, okay.
Okay. The point with that one is if you're going to use anchovies, try to, if it's going to be a simple dish, try to buy the best anchovy you can find.
And this is it. This is one of the
Here at Chef Zone, I always use that.
So just anchovy and
Which one is it?
Parmesan cheese, garlic. But so I took the whole garlic cloves and I simmered it in milk and a little bit of butter. Okay, and the butter was there. I could have used cream or half and half or heavy cream, but I used milk because it's lighter, less fat, but I added some fat back in the butter because as I was simmering, I didn't want the milk to curdle. So it didn't curdle because of the butter. But if you want to make it easier, use heavy cream. Okay? But what happened was, okay, I boiled it one time, I threw it away, and did it again the second time. The first time I threw it away was because you want to get rid of the bitterness from the garlic. The second time, I put it in a blender. You can do this in a mortar and pestle if you like. Put in a blender, the garlic is soft already with the anchovies, and this milk is now flavored with garlic. I put the milk inside there and I blended that. Then the Parmesan cheese and a little bit of lemon juice. That's it. That's why no oil, no egg. If you want to turn this into a Caesar's dressing, add a little bit water at a time. It'll get loose. And just toss the salad. Because that's kind of thick, yeah? Okay, you have cashew milk in front of you. Okay? You can try it. Oh, you know
Oh,
more.
no, we didn't get them yet. They come.
No big deal, huh? No big deal. Is it a little sweet?
A little sweet.
So this is real easy. 2 parts water to 1 part cashew. Blended really, really fine. I didn't even strain it. Okay? And this is the cashew organic raw cashews. This is not totally raw. The stores will not sell you raw cashews because it's actually not good for you. There's a toxin in there that when they steam it, they get rid of it. Okay? So if you want to take a look at this, you can pass this around to Tim. Okay? It's okay?
You say you didn't strain it?
Nope. If you don't have a strong enough blender, you might have to. Vitamix is perfect. Okay? So, No. That was regular dairy milk. But you could do that. But you can't. I'll explain to you why. Okay, you can't. Okay, so now this was a 2-to-1 ratio. What I'm going to cook with is 3-to-1. I don't know if you can taste it, but there's natural starch in there. So if I take 3-to-1 cashew milk and I heat it up all by itself, it will thicken. Okay? Almost like an Alfredo sauce with nothing else in it, just water and cashew. Okay? But I wanted you to try this by itself before I cooked with it. Okay? And you cannot use that because as you cook the garlic, it will thicken and thicken. It'll get really thick. I did 2-to-1 for you so you could taste the sweetness versus 3-to-1 is more diluted. Okay, I think I'm ready. I'm trying to figure this out, okay? To make 1 plate of this is, or 2 plates of this is more easy than 24. Okay, so I don't know if you know this chef, Celestino Drago. He has a restaurant Drago in Los Angeles. He's from Sicily. Anyway, he taught me this, okay? You cook your pasta and at 50%, it's still not cooked, 50%, you put it on a sheet pan in 1 thin layer, you season it with salt, and you use a little olive oil on top. This one has avocado oil. Okay, so in the restaurant is not too different from a party of 24. It would be impossible to cook 24s of pasta in this hot water. But I kept the pasta water. Okay, this is your best friend. Do not throw away the pasta. Now, I gotta tell you, my mom is Japanese. She would boil the spaghetti, put it in a colander, throw away all the pasta water, put the cold water on top and rinse them all off, getting all soggy now, okay? Then she put them on a plate, she put the meat sauce right on top, and that green can, you know, that crafting, all over the top, okay? That's how I grew up, okay? So, to learn it this style is a totally different thing from when I grew up, okay? So, what I did ahead of time was, I have these mushrooms that I cooked ahead of time. We have button mushrooms, we have fresh shiitake mushrooms, we have maitake mushrooms, and we have eringi mushrooms. 4 kinds.
The last kind of mushroom.
Eringi mushrooms. Sometimes they call it trumpet mushrooms. I've even heard it called abalone mushrooms because if you cut it thick, it has the same texture as cooked abalone. Trumpet because it has a trumpet shape. So I cut it diagonally into slices. Okay, with some shallots, some garlic, butter. Okay. So I'm going to add pasta water here in the pan first. Next, I'm going to put the pasta inside the water. Okay. When the pasta hits the water, the pasta is going to start cooking again. Okay. What percent do you think this is?
Am I eating it?
Yeah. What percent do you think this is? From 50 to 100.
6%.
Okay, 60%. Okay. So water, pasta. Okay. Let it get warm a little bit. Then I'm going to add this cashew cream. Now, once this cashew cream comes on, I got to work fast. This is like working with cornstarch water. Okay. Then I'm going to add the mushrooms. Then I'm going to season it with a little salt. and then finish with a little Parmesan cheese. Okay? Now, if it starts getting tight, thick too quick, I'm gonna add more water. Okay? It's a really simple dish. And then I finish with some chopped Italian parsley. Okay? So if I don't talk, you know why. This I don't have at home. Okay. All right, the pasta water went inside. Can you see this? Okay. The reason why this is your friend is because it has a little bit of salt in here. Now, if it's really salty, you want to be really careful. Okay. And it has a starchiness from the pasta. Okay. This is, they say 60% cooked. Okay, Lily, you can take this away. This one? No, this one is your. Yeah, feel. I'm testing to see how salty that is. Okay. Okay, help me. Lift that up for me. Okay, water, pasta, mushrooms. Okay. This method here, everyone's going to have their own definition of al dente. Okay? You can control it like this the best by undercooking your pasta, even as 50%, and finish cooking here. And as you're cooking, you just simply take a bite. Okay? It's already 70%. Okay? Little salt. Now I'm going to use Parmesan cheese. That's not vegan, but there are cheese products that are vegan that you can use in place of this. Remember now, the Parmesan cheese is still sodium. Okay? And Parmesan cheese has a lot of glutamates in it. The cashew is like my cream. Okay? And see, I already made a mistake. Okay? When you let your thing sit a little while, it settles. So the first pan had the top. I can see the second pan is more thick. Okay? In fact, the second pan is becoming more already thicker than that one. At this point, it's two things. It's how much your pasta gets cooked and watching it thicken up. Okay, can you see that one it's getting thickened up? Cannot hear you. Try. I'm gonna add more pasta water. Okay, you can see the difference, right? You can see that this one's is very thick here. Okay, and I kind of want it on the loose side because when I start adding the cheese, it should be off. Okay, so you add your cheese off the fire. Can you see how thick this is? Okay, that's off. I need a fork. Thank you. Okay. A little more salt, a little more cheese. Okay. Okay, here you go. Give me another pan like this. I'm going to start another pan. Yeah. Yeah. And put this cheese on top. This is the one you grated. Yeah. On the top. Okay, you can put pasta in there. No. 1/3. Lily, stir this up, Lily.
This is the
Can you plate it? Okay. What's going on, man? You guys need more pasta and sauce.
She might make it a little bit more.
I think you need more sauce there, yeah?
That one needs a little bit.
Okay. We'll just pour that on top here. Okay, you ready? Wait. More noodles. You can serve whatever. In fact, we can start another pan and do the rest of the noodles. Yeah, wash down. You need some more. Yeah. Okay. Pour all of them here.
Farmers say, okay, you have 10 acres.
How was it?
It was delicious.
Did it feel like Alfredo?
Yeah, and you don't, because I never eat vegan food, and I didn't miss cream or cheese or cream or cheese. I didn't miss cream at all. The cashew was delicious.
You know how much to salt your water when you're cooking the pasta? Especially if you're adding the salt later and you're saving the pasta. I mean, I know it's not a hard science, but...
You can go as extreme as tasting the ocean. You can go as extreme. But then it depends what your end product can be too. Huh?
Do you go that far?
One big handful. Including when I blanch vegetables.
It's delicious.
Glad you enjoyed it. Thank you. Spaghetti.
But what brand of
So Joy will tell you what the brand is because
This is
what
Villa Frazzoni. Villa Frazzoni.
So
Okay.
3 cups of water,
3 cups of water. Okay.
1 cup cashews.
Okay.
After
Okay.
you powdered it in.
No,
Just
you saw the bag I gave you.
Yeah.
That's 1 cup of that.
But the cashew whole in the milk. So
Most recipes are going to tell you to soak it.
Soak it.
Most recipes will tell you to soak it. I'm telling you how I did it.
Okay.
I measured 1 cup of the whole cashews.
Yeah.
You saw the package.
Right.
Okay, I put that in the blender. I measured 3 cups of cold water. Okay, I put that in the blender and I turned it on and it came milky until it got all the bits pulverized. You just blend it. Blend it till there's no sign of cashew.
5 minutes?
Depending on your blender. Depending on your blender.
But like you said, you gotta use it right away. You don't let it sit.
No, what I should have done was just stir it up.
Oh.
This will last 1 week in your refrigerator. Now, I gave you 2 to 1. I cooked with 3 to 1, okay? This 2 to 1, if you want to put this in your coffee or your tea, it is a great alternative to cream. Okay?
You make chowder with that. Make chowder.
You gotta deal with how thick get.
Yeah. But usually you're thicken up the chowder. So you would just
Yeah.
skip that.
So as long as you know what's happening
Yeah.
and how to fix them,
Yeah.
okay? Because you don't want one big glob, yeah? Yeah. Did you like it?
Why does it work like cornstarch? Like why does it?
It's the natural starch in the cashew. It contains natural starch. Like you don't see the starch in corn, okay? In another class, I'm going to do the same thing with corn, and I'm going to make corn pudding with just 2 ingredients, corn and salt. Same theory. You don't see it, but there's starch in the corn. You don't see it, but there's starch in the cashew. Now, there's not as much starch in peanuts as in cashew. Yeah. Okay. Easy. Okay. Where's the nuts?
No, I know somebody got touched. No,
He did it. No, he didn't soak it. So there's
How are we doing? Any questions?
I have a question, not about tonight though. You used to make at your restaurant these ice cream like there was like coconut, chocolate. You know which one I mean?
The coconut.
Yeah. Did your guy that made those? Do you know where he went? What happened to those folks? Can I get one anywhere? No more. Those were one. Did you remember those coconuts?
I've done events where I've served them.
Oh, they were chocolate coconut with palpia ice cream.
Yeah, halpia sorbet.
Palpia sorbet. We would go there. We lived for that. Jim Donovan's wife.
How's he doing? So you back home?
Pretty soon. Tell me to tell you hi.
Tell him I said hi too.
What was the Japan one? You guys went with a bunch of people, yeah, with different ships to Japan.
I didn't go on that one.
Oh, that's a different one. Oh, okay. So you just went by yourself?
I went in November, yeah. The first one you tried has 2 cups of water, 1 cup of cashew. Then this one was 3 to 1. And you saw this thicken up, right? I didn't add anything, right?
Right.
The 2 to 1 would have been much quicker. Yeah.
And the reason you keep it loose is to give the pasta time to cook all the way through. Is that why, or just?
That's one. But I wanted to make you feel like you were eating rich fettuccine alfredo, but you saw what went in it. Yeah. Okay. So moving on now. Okay. This is not vegan. This is a dark roux. Okay. A roux is typically 1 part fat, 1 part flour. Okay. Traditionally for the French, it's butter and flour 1 to 1. Now there is such a thing as a white, a blonde, and a brown roux. This is a dark roux. This is like chocolate, right? This took 1 hour to make. Okay. This is also salad oil. So this is what they use down south. Salad oil and flour 1 to 1. And you put them on low heat because you don't want to scorch it. Okay. And this is how they start a lot of their dishes. So when they say make a dark roux, this is it. Okay. Now, I had to start from here because you wouldn't want me to be up here for 1 hour stirring this. Okay? Now there is a quicker way, which I didn't do. You could stick this in your oven, okay, without a lid. Check it occasionally. But at least when it's in the oven, I wouldn't put it on a high heat. I'd put it on like 350. Okay? You want to get there maybe every 15 minutes and just stir it. Because it's going to like darken on the bottom first, if you can see that. Okay? Can I get a wire whip, please? Who's from the South? Nobody from the South? How many like gumbo? Okay. How many had gumbo in the South? Okay. I better try hard then. Okay. So let me tell you what's going to happen. This roux just has to warm up a little bit. I did this in the afternoon. Okay. They like to use something called the Trinity. And the Trinity is simply onion, celery, and bell pepper. Okay? They use a lot of Cajun spice. Now, the variable is when you look at a bottle of Cajun spice, I always read the ingredients. They're all different. So I'm not saying one is better than the other. I'm just saying what kind of Cajun spice you buy will produce a different taste. That's all. So after this warms up, heats up, I will add the Trinity, these three vegetables. I will add some spices. I'm going to add all those spices there. Cajun spice, some ground cumin, some paprika. Okay? In fact, it's the same spices that's in here. It's just that I like the paprika. I like the cumin. You can add ground coriander if you want. The thing that defines all of these spicy dishes could be as simple as adding cayenne pepper. Okay? Or you can add your favorite chili. I got Frank's hot sauce down there. The only problem with adding Frank's hot sauce, it adds spice, but there's a lot of vinegar in there. Okay? It makes it very acid. That's a good question. Okay, I love this brand Pimenton de la Vera, and they have the picante and they have the sweet one. So it's smoked paprika. I like that one the best. See, Lily had to turn on the stove that really was working. Thank you. So it kind of heated up. You can see it looks like melted chocolate, right? Now, you have to be very careful. This is something you cannot leave, okay? Meaning you cannot leave the stove because it could turn from chocolate to black real quick. And what you'll get is very bitter and almost unedible, okay? So, a little bit of Cajun seasoning, okay? What I suggest is, if it's going to be your first time, go slowly. You can always add, you cannot take out. Okay? And make sure the lid is on tight. Okay, paprika. Paprika is not very spicy, so that one's okay. Okay? Cumin. All right. Now I'm going to save the cayenne for last. Okay? How many of you like it spicy? Yeah? Okay. Gonna add the vegetables. Lily, you want to grab the chicken from there? You can hear it because this roux has oil and it's very hot. Okay. 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 Make sure this is stirred, yeah? Okay. This is the shrimp. Okay. Initially, I don't know if you ever saw this. The title of this dish was chicken veloute. Veloute. Okay? And I decided to call it what it is. So, let me see. Okay. One thing that I'm learning now, because I never did this in my kitchen, but I'm learning to use products like chicken broth. Okay, how many of you can make lumpy turkey gravy? Can you see this thickening?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, this is a big subject that I can spend 2 hours talking about, okay? But I won't. The roux is hot. This is room temperature, okay? If this was hot, like boiling chicken stock, you gotta be really careful, okay? If your roux was cold and this was hot, then you're gonna have an easier time than if both were hot, okay? So if you have hot flour and butter for your turkey gravy, you have hot turkey stock from the neck, chances are you might have lumps. Okay? You have to go slow, real slow. It's gonna sputter and splatter all over the place. I'll give you a ratio, okay? 6, 8, 10. When they say roux in the kitchen and they say 6 ounce, it actually means 6 ounce fat, 6 ounce flour. Okay? It's weird. If they say 8 ounce roux, it's 8 ounce fat, 8 ounce flour. Same with 10. Okay? Now, 6, 8, 10, light, medium, heavy. To 1 gallon liquid. Okay? We'll thicken it, light, medium, heavy. Does that make sense? Okay, we're talking about thickening a soup like a cream of mushroom. We're thinking about making a sauce, a classical sauce. A veloute is one of the classical mother sauces, one of the 5. Okay, I call this class veloute, chicken veloute, because this is not your typical roux, but this is a roux and this is chicken stock. I am making chicken veloute. Okay, but they call it chicken gumbo down south. Okay? Did you get that? 6, 8, 10, 1 gallon. Now the liquid can be water, can be chicken stock, can be fish stock, can be beef stock. Okay? So you have the thickener, which is the roux. And you have the liquid that you want to thicken. Okay? Still with me? Okay. Now, somebody asked me, why am I doing gumbo? Thank you for asking. I am really, really interested in the anthropology of things. When I go and travel, I go ask, the first thing I ask is, who came here first? Okay? Not only who came here first, but what happened? Why did they come? So when you think about Hawaii's history, it's the same thing. Who came here first? Of course, the Hawaiians. Right? Then you had the immigrants, the Asian immigrants. Well, you had the I call them the tall ships. The same tall ships that Captain Cook and Marco Polo and, came on. Then third, they went to go look for workers in our sugarcane and plantation fields, and over half the Hawaiian population died. So that's in the history books. So they had to go look for laborers, and they went to China. Some Portuguese and Puerto Ricans came, the Japanese came, Koreans, Okinawans, and the Filipinos. So now this interests me because think about this. The French go to Canada, Nova Scotia, and they make their way down to Louisiana somehow. Okay? And what do they bring with them besides their culture? They bring their food. Okay? This andouille sausage is from the French. Okay? Now, I think Cajun came because they had Acadians who came from France, and they kind of dropped the A, and Cajun became like Pidgin English, and it became, instead of Acadian, Cajun. Okay? Good question to you is, what's the difference between Cajun and Creole? Okay? You could have a Cajun gumbo, and you could have a Creole gumbo. Then, that was interesting. Then they have this dish called jambalaya. And when you think the Spanish came, okay, they have their paella. But the origin of jambalaya actually was this rice jollof coming from Africa. The Africans came. The Africans brought rice, they brought turnips, they brought cabbage. They brought a lot of stuff with them. They brought jollof rice and it turned into jambalaya. So that's why this interested me. Why did that area become spicy? Because a bunch of them volunteered to go fight in the Mexican War, discovered chilies, came back, and they brought all the chilies with them. So anybody remember Paul Prudhomme? The blackened fish? Okay, that spice thing, that's from the Mexican War. Okay, how are we doing, Lily? Everybody's hungry. Okay, put the chicken in. Yes.
What is the filet spice that they use?
Oh, okay. Ground gumbo filet? Actually from the sassafras plant. The same sassafras they used to make root beer from. Okay? This is actually, not only has a nice smell, it's a thickener. Yes, I am. Okay? Now, some people don't put okra. I put okra in it. Okay? Another story is, let's turn this off. One more handful. Okay. All right. So no, I'll get back to the story, okay? The chicken went in. This is andouille sausage. And you sear the sausage before you put it in. You just don't throw it in, okay? I love sausage. Okay? This one's gonna get shrimped. So this will take about 1 hour to simmer till the chicken gets ready. Okay, now the reason why I did that 6, 8, 10, 1 gallon, because it determines thickness. How thick you want your stew to be. Okay? 6 is light, 8 is medium, 10 is heavy. So this shrimp was seared, and I'm putting it at the last minute because I didn't want it to be overcooked.
Did you saute the chicken or was this just raw?
The chicken went in raw. That's why it's going to take a while to cook. But I have a pot already cooked. Okay?
Do you use any kind of chicken, white, dark?
What's best is chicken thighs. Okay? Now, okra. Good. Yeah. Small. Okay. How many have been to Egypt?
Egypt.
Anybody try a dish called molokhia? It's very slippery, like slimy, like okra. The Filipinos have something similar called salayot. It's slippery, like okra and natto. Okay, before you guys do that. Okay, you can leave that alone, turn it off. Somebody gotta serve the rice too. Okay. So gumbo filet thickens a little bit. This one's not ready. Okay, I do this at the end as well as the okra. Okay, but I already added some gumbo filet, and maybe you're gonna be able to smell that. Okay. So in Egypt, molokhia, there's a K in there that the K is silent. And it's a soup served with rice. So you know I had a restaurant in Shanghai for 2 years, right? Okay. What I noticed was hold on. Scrape the bottom. Yeah. What I noticed was in Asia, okay, in China, they had a bowl like this full with rice. And I was surprised. And for some, this would be their only meal of the day. But what I noticed was big bowl of rice, always had soup. And the soup was to make the rice go down easier. This molokhia was a soup, was slippery, almost slimy, was to make the rice go down. Okay? Because not everyone has a short grain rice. A lot of them have the long grain rice. Kind of a little bit more dry. So, when you add the okra, when I first tried this, I added the okra last. I added a lot. And it thickened the soup. Okay? And it was very, very slippery. And I thought, in fact, the word gumbo kind of means okra in African. The word gumbo in its African word for gumbo kind of means okra. But I know some recipes don't have okra in the gumbo. Okay, so you're gonna get some a gumbo. You're gonna get some long grain rice. You're gonna get coleslaw. And if you're a diehard Southern person, you eat gumbo with potato salad. Without the slime? The okra and the gumbo filet is a thickener. It's more the okra that's going to add the slime, but if you add it last, if you add it in the beginning, it kind of cooks out. Yeah. But if you taste a little bit of that slipperiness, because I like okra, I added a lot. Yeah. Okay, that is a corn salad. Okay. You'll be getting a coleslaw and a corn salad with the rice and the gumbo. Okay? Can you? You can chop up your sausage. So that's what I would call a variable. Okay? If you want to chop it up, if you want to grind it. Now, there's a difference if you cut it that thin versus that thick. Okay, Because I like the meatiness of sausage, I cut it 1 inch thick. Okay? Because, if you say chicken and sausage, I want to bite into a piece of sausage. But ground sausage is okay too. Okay? Okay, somebody doing this? They're eating everything without this.
Well, we're asking them
Okay, come on, let's go.
Chef, you're not serving this one, yeah?
No. The garnish is green onion. Is it still hot? Let's put a little cilantro on there too.
Oh, cilantro.
How we doing? No, I didn't make it spicy. Gluten free. Okay, true story. My first batch of this was kind of loose, like soup. So I could not make a brown roux in time to go thicken it. I didn't want to add a white roux, so I used kuzu. Kuzu. Okay. The European equivalent to kuzu is arrowroot. Okay. And simple package. You use this just like cornstarch, this and water. Yeah? The difference between cornstarch and this one and arrowroot is it stays a long time. Like, when you go to a Chinese restaurant, you order a stir fry, when you leave, the sauce is water. That means the cornstarch is broken down. You use this one, chances are it's not going to turn to water. Okay, this will last a long time and high heat. Okay? Kuzu mochi, goma tofu, kuzu. And kuzu mochi. One time I took a hot chocolate recipe. I added enough kuzu until it thickened. I cooled it, and it was my chocolate kuzu pudding.
What is kuzu made of?
Kuzu, it's a root.
It's a root.
It's a root they find in Japan. It's a tree and it's a root underneath. It's about a year's process to make.
Oh, they sell that here.
So this here?
Kuzu?
Yes?
Did you use that in this?
No, I was explaining, if gluten-free, how can you thicken this? The only thing you're missing is, this is brown colored for no other reason than that brown roux. There's no coloring in there. There's no caramelized onions, caramelized carrots. There's not a single tomato product in there. No tomato paste. In fact, if I was at diced tomatoes, now I'm coming into Creole jumbo territory. Okay? Yes. What do I think? I think adding tomatoes brings a nice acid. Yeah? Like if you add a lot of sausage and a lot of rich things, you're gonna like that acid because it cuts right through some of that fat. Thank you. And you know what? We got more. If somebody wants more, just raise your hand. They'll come around. More gumbo. Anybody want more gumbo?
Go on the first one.
Why would you saute the shrimp before you put it in, but not saute the chicken?
Okay. I knew the chicken was going to cook for a while. On the shrimp, I wanted to sear it and then added it at the very last minute so that it wasn't overcooked.
Does searing change the flavor?
Yes.
Why would you, so you want to do that actually?
Whenever you sear something, they call it a fancy name. It's a Maillard effect. Okay. the sugars that are present turn brown and caramelize. So I'll give you an example, okay? Everybody cooks ground beef. If your pan is not hot enough, your ground beef stays gray, and you end up steaming and boiling your ground beef. And what you smell in the air, you smell blood. Now, if you get your pan smoking hot, you put your hamburger meat inside, and it gets nice and brown real quick, you smell, honest to goodness, beef. Because you did it that way and you let it caramelize. Okay, does anybody have any more last questions? Where's the chicken? Huh. You never get chicken? You didn't see chicken? Allah. Give her some chicken. Tiny chicken. There you go. The chicken inside that thing. You know what? Take all the mushrooms, put it in there. Any other questions?
Okay, how did you make your corn salad?
Corn salad. Okay, so this corn salad, okay, is about how to take frozen corn and make it better. Okay? So last night I opened the packages, thawed it out, I put it in the sieve and I drained all the water out. This morning I come, I take a dry pan.
Dry pan.
Okay, a dry pan, and I put the corn kernels in the pan. I'm trying to like create some color there, and I want to like get some of the more water out and intensify the taste, bring the sweetness of the corn out. Okay, so I do that. Then I took, you ready for this one? Okay, I took the same corn, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio of corn and, where's my recipe book? Look at that. No, I want to get this right for you. It's 1-to-1. It was 3 cups, 3 cups. The chicken right here. Chicken. Okay. All right. 1-to-1 corn, 3 cups, 3 cups mayonnaise. So I sweeten the mayonnaise. Okay, now there's a difference between QP, Best Foods, and Katie's. Okay, this particular one is being sold here, Katie's. Okay? Katie. K-A-T-Y. Yeah. Okay, now, huh? That's the name of the meal.
Katie's Kitchen.
I thought you were a QP man.
I am. Okay, but QP is more acidic than Katie's. So now all of a sudden, mayonnaise is not just mayonnaise. You got to taste them and find out the differences. Okay, so this is Katie's. Then a little Dijon. And the last ratio, 3-3-1, is 1 portion water. I'll tell you why, okay? If you take, huh?
3 corn, 3 mayo, and 1 water.
The cilantro got added to the salad after. So basically you take the kind of, I don't want to say blackened, but charred corn, okay? And we added this dressing to it, okay?
Yeah, you said you
In a dry pan.
put it in the dry pan and then what? You put it in the oven?
Oh no.
Steps.
On a dry pan, you put the corn, and you put it in another container, and you keep doing it until you finish all your corn.
You heat it?
Oh, it's on full blast.
No, because you're browning it.
It's a hot pan. Okay? And that's why the night before, I drained it really well. Because if I did not, it would end up steaming and not charring. Okay? And so the char produces flavor, plus I'm taking more moisture out.
Can you put it in the oven?
Yes, you can. Broil, maybe? Yeah, you can. Okay? So now the secret here is you take a lot of salad dressings, okay? And if you dilute them with water, you have a salad dressing. Because the only thing that separates salad dressing and mayonnaise is more oil. So I'm changing the viscosity of the mayonnaise by adding water, and then you add flavor. So this one had a little garlic in it. Okay, but it was simply a salad dressing. So when you take the salad dressing, you mix it with the charred corn. I added like jalapenos. I added like a bunch of cilantro. Okay, I squeezed some lime juice. Okay.
Red pepper, red onion, or what was the red?
Ah, okay. I forgot to tell you that. Okay. Sold in the specialty store, piquillo peppers. That was the red. Piquillo. Okay. Now the Spanish like to use this. They like to stuff it with things and create tapas. Basically, it's like a pepper with the skin blistered and taken off. Yeah, and you'll find it sweet. Okay. Now sweet. Lime juice, acid, heat, jalapenos. So you kind of get it? Okay. And then you found the green one. That is like a poblano pepper. Okay, they sell that right here. I blister it, take the skin off, chop it all up. That was in there too. We're talking about the corn salad. Okay? Corn salad.
So much percent.
So, it might sound complex, but it's really simple if you think about when you get something acidic, you put it something sweet, it goes together. Okay, you get something sweet, you put chilies to it, it goes together. Without it, it doesn't go together. So when you add one, you gotta add two. Okay? When you add this one, you add this one. If you don't want to make it complex, don't add anything. Just charred corn, dressing, cilantro. There you go. Very good. Okay. What's that?
Oh, yes.
Two.
How many in your entire group? Because I have
The New Wave luau
Oh, yeah.
and the blue tomato.
Yeah.
Tomato. I said it was a green tomato.
Did you hear the story about the blue tomato? I didn't know what to call the name of the book. I didn't know what the name was going to be. So I went down to Hilo, and I went down to this Hawaiian immersion school. And my tomato farmer says, hey, if you adopt a class for $500, these kids are going to be able to go on a real excursion. Hire a bus, go down to Imiloa, the astronomy center, learn a little bit more, because they had no money. Their excursion was kids hold hands, walk down to the beach, play, walk back to the class, that's the excursion. So I adopted a class. My managers adopted a class. Okay? Then we're going to go there to do a demonstration, a tomato demonstration with a tomato farmer. And so I'm doing the tomato with the lihimoy dressing. So this girl in the back raises her hand, says, no, I pick up a red tomato. I says, kids, this is where ketchup comes from. This girl raises her hand, says, that yellow ketchup, you can make the yellow tomato, you can make yellow ketchup? I says, of course I can. Boy raises his hand, there's a green tomato there, can you make green ketchup? I says, yes, I can. So this other boy says, can you make blue ketchup? I said, you give me a blue tomato, I'll make you blue ketchup. Okay, so the theme behind the book was, if kids grow up, the next generation, knowing that soy sauce doesn't have to be brown, tomatoes don't have to be red, an egg roll doesn't have to be this shape, okay? Their creativity and imagination goes wild, right? Plus, The most important thing about the blue tomato is anything is possible.
What school?
Huh?
What school was that?
Blue tomato, the school.
What?
The school.
Keokaha.
Keaukaha.
I didn't realize this whole time, but I've been looking at the little tree with a giant. There's a mural. I've been watching the TV.